It is 7 months later is when I recorded Alan Wake last, and that was before taking a trip, the holidays, getting waylaid, life getting in the way, and just so much stuff happened, and I thought that I was going to continue on. And you never know when something's going to be the last thing that you're going to do. You rarely know that it's going to be the last time you do something before being interrupted and never getting back to it, or not getting back to it for a while. So, surprisingly deep intro. Always expect it to be the last. But it was the last for a little bit. And I finally, just decided it's Friday. It's Friday. It's been a long week. And I just kind of want to have a chill time playing Alan Wake because I love this game. So I'm going to step out into this horrible, horrible black night and check the difficulty for one. Can you change the difficulty? You know what? Just rolling with it. It's been a while. This is Alan Wake 2, the final draft DLC. So I'm playing it because I really want to analyze the game. I want to get a better grip of the story, which I didn't necessarily... It's always going to give you a little bit more insight the second time that you play through something, especially with a story like this. And I'm super excited to see all the new stuff, the DLC it has to offer. So I guess I didn't know it was going to be the last time. Is that the light or is that a phone? I don't think it was a phone. All right. Okay. Got distracted there. But you never know when the last time something that you do is going to be the last time. Oh, there's a phone. And I certainly didn't expect the last one to be a break that lasted 7 months. But
the payphone at the edge of the plaza was ringing again.
At the edge of the plaza. It sounds like it's to the right. Here it is. See what whoever this... Oh, is it this one? See whoever this is, what they have to say.
Hey, Alan. Thank God it picked up. I thought I lost you again.
Who are you? Why are you helping me?
Did you go deeper? To the overlap?
Are you talking about the murder site? Yeah, I did.
That's fantastic, Alan. We're closer to getting out. We're making progress.
Well, we would be if you would answer my damn questions.
Last time we spoke, you were pretty worried about Alice. Did you ever check Parliament Tower? To make sure she really got out of the dark place?
Well, of course she got out. That's why I'm here. That's the whole goddamn point.
Be very careful, Alan. The dark presence is stealing from you. It can already manifest as your double. Scratch will come...
Wait, hello?
That kind of proves my point exactly. So my goal here, I just want it to be kind of like, even though it's a horror game, I want it to be more of a chill, relaxed time as I go through this. So I'm gonna just casually talk about everything, but it is New Game Plus now. I'm not gonna like spoil anything, but I feel that there are a couple things that happened there. I don't know who's on the other side of the phone. It sounds like the same voice actor, but to me it doesn't sound like Alan. I know it's the same voice, but I know he said we too. He said we're almost getting closer to getting out, but it could be anybody on the other side that he has met, that he's going to meet. I don't really know what the answer is to that, but he just doesn't sound like... Alan has a different cadence to how he speaks, and that other guy, he sounded a little bit more like... I don't want to say coherent, but he sounded a little bit more like... He just speaks differently from Alan. It sounded like he's a little bit more like task-oriented than Alan ever has been. Even though it's the same voice actor, so I don't know who it could be. I don't know whether it's like... If it's like another iteration of Alan from the future that's a little bit more like harrowed by everything, or if it's another person entirely, if it's what else? Who else could it be? Alan. If it's Scratch, if it's Who else is here? I mean, who knows what happened? I don't want to spoil Control, but there might be a tie-in with that too. And it might be Control related, because there's a character that this voice actor voiced in Control, so... And what's his name? Sean Ashmore, Sheriff Breaker, he said something about multiple characters in different worlds. Oh, what? Okay, hold on. Is it light? Am I not lining this up correctly? Why am I so bad at this? Okay. The opposite of sunspots.
Writer. Maybe he was a victim. The cult, using his words. Or maybe he was the monster behind it all. Either way, Alice Wake, his ex, she knew things. It was there in her art for all to see. A cry for help. The darkness she'd witnessed. And that put her in danger.
Was Alice here? In the story?
Gosh, and I think it's so interesting that what he said over the phone, it was the whole point was to get Alice out. And the other guy says, the dark place is stealing from you, Alan. Or the dark presence. Memory's not that great, but what could he mean by that?
Alice. What was that? Like a ray of warm light, I felt her presence. It gave me strength to go on.
Interesting. I don't remember that. I don't remember that in the first playthrough. Also, his shoulders look weird. He probably has shoulder pads, but... Oh! Haunting. Initiation 3.
Alice's photo equipment. Set to go off when the door opens.
Huh. Got some modern art. I'm going to definitely take my time with this playthrough. I've already done it before, but... I mean...
Get out! Leave me alone!
Alice! Alice!
Interesting.
This is the door to my study, where I wrote my books.
A spiral door.
The
Okay.
symbol wasn't here before.
Yeah, obviously you're not going to have wild occult imagery in your New York apartment, hopefully. Well, it could be what he's into, but I assume not. Okay.
Alice.
This is going to be the most... Well, I'm going to look for everything. I was going to say the most self-indulgent playthrough, but I love this game. I want to see everything. Might as well. It's the New Game Plus to pick up everything and, like, examine all the different threads going on.
This is a photo of Scratch.
Yeah, it is.
How did Alice get this?
Pick photos.
Was he stalking her?
Was he? Pick photos for exhibition posters. I think, if I remember correctly, because I played Control before I played the first Alan Wake game. So I went through the DLC, and I think it was cool to do it that way, but also at the same time, I wasn't familiar with the characters as much, so I didn't know, but I think in Control you do see that he was tormenting her, and I think Alice visited the bureau to, I don't know, because she was being tormented by Scratch. If I remember correctly. It all kind of like informs each other and builds off of each other, which makes it a little difficult to keep the
Alice's
threads
video camera.
fresh.
No memory card inside.
All right, well, it's time to locate a memory card. Classic horror game puzzle. All right, you can see outside, which is cool. Brooklyn Bridge, maybe, in the distance there. Okay. What do they have in their apartment? There's some nice little plants and a nice bowl of fruit. A decent sized kitchen. A nice loaf of bread. And then a pumpkin. Who uses a pumpkin? What do you use that pumpkin for? Part 1. Okay, thanks.
Part 1.
Okay.
What was
thanks.
Alice working on?
What was she working on? Dinner? Pumpkins? Who knows? Oh, all right, let's see just what Alice was working on. I think something nice. Some nice landscapes of Holland.
When I was younger, photography was everything to me. I moved to New York thinking I'd make it as an artist. And then I met Alan. We had a good thing. We were both dedicated by our creative ambitions. The only difference was that Alan's work made money. He brought me work when he could. I took his promo shots, created covers for his books. I'm sure he forced his publisher into it. I was taking photos, just not my photos. And that gnawed at me. Things got complicated sometimes, but that's life, right? We loved each other. Then Alan hit a block. I brought out a meaner side of him. One I didn't like. I set up a trip to see a doctor in Washington. I didn't tell him until we got there. We argued. Things went wrong. And he was just gone. Drowned, allegedly. It's easy for people to think it was my fault. Hell, I do, too, sometimes. About 6 years ago, I started hearing noises in the night. Typewriter keys clacking. Voices. Alan was back. Haunting me. Then it got violent. It was Alan. And yet, it was a monster.
It was the writer, but not the writer.
He always did have anger in him. I set up cameras around the apartment with motion sensors and flashes. Now, when the monster comes, I turn it into art. My nightmares caught on film. And this is the focus of my new exhibition. To show people the world is so much darker than they ever knew.
The light flashed in
I'm
the
calling
video.
this exhibit The Dark Place.
It's flickering.
Alice. Scratch was terrorizing her. Why?
So a couple different things. One, I want to note to my future self that I moved because I was seeing some distortions in the image. And I don't know if it's because I have a terrible monitor, but it looked like the same distortions that occur around the shadow people, the Taken. Yeah, I just saw it again. And I don't know. It could just be the dark place as a whole, and I'm just so used to moving through it and not realizing it, but it's just been shimmering in like the edges of the screen. And then Alice, she said, to show the world that the place it's darker than you could have imagined. I mean, obviously it's the dark presence that's haunting her, but I just think it's an interesting word choice. And also, I mean, he sacrificed himself pretty much so Alice would be able to get out, but she still has to live on with life and live on with everything, so it can't be an easy video for him to watch. And before I go further with this is the editor talking now. I was watching this as I was editing, and it was crazy to me. Obviously, the lamp behind Alice is casting a light, but it was affecting the real lights in the room. And every time Alice would move, there would be a huge reflection of light on the ceiling, on the floor, to the right and to the left. I really wish that I was moving the camera around a little bit more while I was playing this, but you can see that she's lighting up the rooms in weird ways that a normal projector doesn't do. And I was wondering, is this because of like a bug with the game? Or why is she lighting up the room so much the way that she is? And he did make a comment about her being like her light, like an inner light that lifted.
Like a ray of warm light, I felt her presence.
So I'm wondering if that projection of Alice had something to do with it. She also said she was turning things into art, and there's one thing that the dark place does is that it amplifies art to become reality. So it's just interesting to see I was paying attention to the shimmering that was going around Alan while he was watching it, but I wasn't looking at the light too closely, and the light was doing some very interesting things also. I don't know if that's intentional or not, but I just wanted to point that out, basically. Let's see what's going on with Scratch in that video.
I sat in the writer's room and wrote a story. Initiation. To project myself through the dark place, to look for a way out.
Is this Scratch talking?
The story that brought me here brought me nowhere. Looped me back. I was writing the story. And in the story, I now stepped into the writer's room. But there was no one here writing it.
I mean, you don't know. You don't know who Scratch is and who Alan is. I think it's interesting, which I never caught on before. He says writer's room, which can be multiple meanings. It could be the writer, Alan Wake, his room. Or it could be like where it's capitalized, like it's the room where writing happens.
Okay,
Let's recap what you've told us so far, Alan.
Is it that, or is it Alan's
For the
room?
past 13 years, you've been trapped in a nightmare dimension called the Dark Place.
Yeah.
It's like New York, but it's not New York.
Of course.
And can be reached from the bottom of Cauldron Lake, but it's not really under the lake. And after all this time, you've managed to get out.
Yeah.
But so has your evil doppelganger.
Casey's
Mr. Scratch?
expression.
Or is it the Dark Presence?
Both. It's interchangeable. He's Scratch when he looks like me, but he can change into this other form.
And Scratch, the Dark Presence, wants to rewrite the world in his own image.
Which would be in your image, as he looks just like you.
And turn the world into a fucking nightmare.
During Deerfest, which is scheduled to take place in a couple of days. You got out of the Dark Place by writing a novel, the pages we've been finding. But your double edited it into a horror story that's now changing reality, taking over people,
Yeah.
making them crazy, bringing the Dark Place to Bright Falls.
Guess. Fiction coming in contact with the Dark Place can change reality. The story is coming true, soaking into everything, like darkness when night falls. But last time
This will be back in 2010.
Yes, last time it didn't happen all at once. The story came true bit by bit as it unfolded. And that dark presence was still bound to the lake. I stopped it before it got the ending it wanted. Before it broke free. Based on that, there's still time.
Which brings us to your magical light switch.
The clicker. Magical doesn't quite cover it. Scratch wants it to bring about his ending. That can't happen. If I can get the clicker, I can send him back to the Dark Place, make all this shit go away. Look, I know it's batshit crazy. My memory is full of holes, and I'm not sure how much I can trust. It's like a half-forgotten dream.
Those spooky shots are so good. So good.
Mr. Wake. Alan. We've seen our share of batshit crazy in the past 24 hours. What I want to know is, why am I? Why are we written into the story?
I think I saw you. Or a vision of you in the Dark Place. I think you helped me reach out and escape somehow. With that in the story, Scratch would have edited it to get to you. To hurt you. We are all in danger.
So my theory.
It's insane. And there's so much of it.
For 1 second, and my theory has kind of always been that it's never been Alan Wake. It's never been whoever any of the people are. And that it's always been Tom Zane. The original story was always that it's the lake, any artwork that happens, it can harness the power of the artwork and then kind of shift it into the image of the art. So it seemed like some stuff happened between Thomas Zane and, was it Barbara something, Jagger at the time? And that set about everything in motion here. And I don't know, it just seems like maybe that this is all something that Thomas Zane kind of dreamed up back then to get things into motion, because I don't know, like all these people seem to be joining the story, coming in out of nowhere, being written in and out of existence, and it kind of makes sense, especially because Zane is a recurring character, and Ati does refer to Alan as Tom all the time, so just like some form or or interpretation, some extension of Tom. All right, anyway.
Have you ever heard of the cult of the tree?
Creepy bunch. In the habit of wearing deer masks, performing murder rituals, victims turning into monsters possessed by darkness, possibly inspired by a horror story written by a certain author. Ring any bells?
The cult. Yes. Yes. They have the clicker.
This is a different cult than the cult that Alan in the Dark Place is used to, or that the writer in the Dark Place is used to.
If the cult has the clicker, does that make them Scratch's followers? How are you so certain they even have the clicker?
They could be working for Scratch. I don't remember. It's all confused.
Alan, if I'm gonna act on this information, you need to be honest with me.
Yeah, of course.
Is he confused? Or is he hiding something?
Is he hiding something? I'm very curious to do this. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. I don't remember what it was. It was something kind of important about Saga, I think, but about Alan? About Casey? I don't remember. Oh, here's an actual version of the Mind Place. The real life. Interesting, very interesting. Bright Falls, Watery. Alright, well, let me see this deer and then I'll go to the Mind Place.
Rest easy, buddy.
What is her thing with deer? That's gotta mean something too. I don't know what that could be though. Alright, guys, I'm gonna stand here for a little bit, space out, and probably look moody while I'm investigating here. Okay. Alright. Alan Wake interview.
Wake just gave us a lot of information.
He did.
This clicker seems like a good place to start. If we find that, then we find the cult.
You just have to wonder, which is real? Which reality is the real one? Which one is, I mean, obviously Alan's is a little bit more a different dimension, but there's a lot of stuff happening in this one, too. You kind of have to raise an eyebrow. Wake. The cult of the tree is in possession of the clicker.
The cult of the tree is behind these murders. This case just became much more complicated. I'll need to start a new file. But it's my first cult case. Exciting.
Congratulations. I love how she's excited about that. That's awesome. Good for her. Cult case. The cult could be followers of Scratch. They have the clicker after all. Which doesn't make sense. It doesn't make sense because why not use the clicker if they have the clicker?
Doesn't make sense.
Yeah, exactly. My first thought. Nightingale became a monster. Why? Cult symbols, cult psychology. Cult goal. It's definitely a cult goal. Cult working for, with someone. I didn't read what this one said. Nightingale spoke in excerpts from the pages. That's interesting because he had writing on him, so you'd have to wonder if it's like programming him versus like a golem or something where you write a phrase and then activate it. Note reminding cultists that victims are like animals. Again, that's another interesting thing. Cult
Makes
psychology,
sense.
probably. Yeah, it does. Dehumanizing their victims, they're the predators. Their victims are just prey. Anything?
The pages we've been finding are from a horror story called Return, written by Alan Wake. And the contents of this book are coming true.
The contents of the book
Why
are
couldn't it
coming
have been a
true.
romance?
Oh, dang, that's a lot. That's a lot. Wake wrote a book in the dark place called Return. Scratch edited it into a horror story. The story's events are slowly becoming true. I don't know about slowly. It's pretty quickly becoming true. How does she have a picture of the dark place there? What? That's crazy. With Mr. Door. How does story change reality? Rules? The dark place. Okay, so again, I endlessly love and appreciate how in this game, Alan Wake 2, the characters, Alan Wake comes back after 13 years, dazed and confused. They've seen a monster that rose from the dead without a heart and killed a deputy and just poof into nothingness. Saga took him down. There's been a lot of weird, unexplained things with no scientific explanation that they have. Instead of saying the dumb thing, there must be a scientific explanation for this, or, like being skeptical for some reason, they're just like, okay, we need to make sense. We need to make sense of everything that's happening. It may be beyond our ordinary comprehension or things that we tackle outside of our wheelhouse, but there has to be some type of logic going on, even if it's completely goes against everything that we have ever known, because these are the facts. They lead us to believe that it's not Scooby-Doo smoke and mirrors, that it's the real thing. Why is it happening, and how do we stop that? I think that so many horror tropes are, what's happening? This can't possibly be happening. I'm confronted with overwhelming evidence in front of myself that there's something supernatural and spooky happening. But what could be happening? There's not ghosts in my house or a supernatural slasher chasing after me. They're fully on board with it, and I appreciate that, and I think it's a much stronger game for embracing that and not trying to hand wave it all away with some scientific explanation. Parascientific, maybe, but Wake fiction coming into contact with the dark place has the power to change reality. So whatever you write in the dark place becomes reality. It can't be that simple. There's an entity inside the dark place called the Dark Presence. According to Wake, the Dark Presence can sometimes take his appearance. How? Why? Flashlight seems to weaken Taken. It's gotta be Dark Presence. It would make sense that light is effective against the Dark Presence, too. There are a lot of these. Inside a bright light, Saga felt safe, like nothing could hurt her here. Well-lit areas are safe from the Dark Presence and the Taken. That's a little duh at this point. Wake, Scratch and the Dark Presence are interchangeable. When the Dark Presence looks like Wake, it goes by the name Scratch. An evil twin is a bit convenient. I'll keep an eye on it. It's Alan, but it's not Alan.
Sure.
In the form of Scratch, the Dark Presence is editing Wake's story, wants to turn the world into a nightmare. Obviously, I can't let that happen. Again, I love that. The story changes our reality bit by bit. The process is gradual. I guess that tracks.
Doesn't make sense.
Must get the clicker before Scratch. With it, the story can be changed and Scratch will be sent to the dark place. That's not what happened the other time. A magic light switch, where do I even start with that? If we don't stop it, Scratch will use the story to permanently change reality at the start of Deerfest. Wake says that the dark place can be accessed from the bottom of Cauldron Lake. So what? Cauldron Lake is the gateway to some other world. Some other strange reality, the dark place, merged with ours. This dark place and the dark place, the page called this area. And this place and the dark place, The page called this area an overlap.
The dark place. A dimension that's home to monsters. Huh. Wild stuff.
Another world reached via Cauldron Lake, home to the dark presence, bleeding into our world through overlaps. So, at the end of the first Alan Wake, which had a different tone to this one for sure and was a different game, he said, it's not a lake, it's an ocean, right? And then comes back, circles back around after a story is written, and the world that he rejoins is a much more dark and sinister one. I'm not talking about the dark place. Like, this version of Bright Falls is less quirky. It's more like blighted. Some things have changed, like the witch here. So I'm wondering if like it rewrote the rules also in the surrounding world overall. Dark Presence. I entered the Cauldron Lake overlap by reciting the prose. Oh, that for sure felt like it was that one. The overlap. Oh, let's see. How to enter. The poem was about a local legend, a witch's lost heart, about terror. And it's so funny because that's not how the first game went. So that's got to be meaningful on its own, that it's retconned what happened in the first one and rewrote the story. If we don't stop it, Scratch will use a story to permanently change reality at the start of... Oh, why haven't I found this?
That's not right.
That only gives us 2 days to stop. Well, that one's for later, so... Might as well. I can skip this. What do I do now? Oh, profiling. Time to profile. Let's see what's going on with Wake.
Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here. In Washington. He's hunting Wake.
That's so interesting. She is profiling Alan, I think. She's profiling Alan himself.
Wake said the cult has the clicker. How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. Keep the pages safe, the dark shining of the words.
Wake is hiding pages. That's how he knows the cult has the clicker.
I'm gonna have to rewatch that one. I didn't understand what that meant.
Wake said the cult has the clicker.
Oh, play it again.
How does he know?
The writer is the reader. The next chapter, the next chapter, the next chapter. Keep the pages safe, the dark shining of the words.
Wake is hiding pages. That's how he knows the cult has the clicker.
The writer is the reader. I still don't get that. It was a lowercase w, too. Let's see.
Scratch looks just like Wake. Why?
Don't wake up the dreamer if your life is a dream. I swam to the shore, but the water is rising.
Wake and Scratch are clearly connected. Maybe Scratch got out because Wake did. Or vice versa.
That should be... It's super haunted right now. But that should be to Saga the biggest red flag imaginable.
Wake has a double. Mr. Scratch. Where is he now?
A cloud of wrath wears my face. The dark place in your place. Scratching out my body of work.
Scratch is here. In Washington. He's hunting Wake.
They do talk in riddles, but they do tell the truth. All of these profiles. Actually, what's interesting is that the Bookers, their profile was very, again, like narcotized almost, like they're in a dream, but they were telling the truth, the two of them, which was interesting. Nightingale's was kind of like half coherent as him, but half like he was a puppet that was being controlled by somebody else, where he's like, who said that? What is this? Like that type of thing, where it's like he's just snapping into consciousness and becoming aware of like the situation. Wake sounds like he's asleep, like he's not there, like he's there but he's not there. So commentary on like his cadence of speaking aside, he's there but he's not there. So I find that very interesting, and I find that profile incredibly interesting. Scratch and Wake. Don't wake a sleeper. Don't wake a dreamer when he's asleep.
Okay, Mr. Wake. I know you have more pages of the manuscript on you.
You don't understand how vital these pages are. They're the only way I can know what's coming.
You're not the only one trying to solve this. This is our job.
Okay. Here. Now, this is all I have. Be careful with them.
When would he have had the chance to read them between rescuing him from the lake and sitting down here?
Inside the trailer, at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the cult of the tree. A cultist stared at her. She drew her weapon.
Oh, oops. That was a manuscript, was it not? Where are those again? Profiling.
Standing inside the trailer at the outskirts of Watery, Saga had seen Wake's fabled clicker for the first time, in the hands of the cult of the tree. Her mind reeled from what the horror story was now claiming about her, her life, her past. She didn't accept it. She stepped out of the trailer. She needed air, but she wasn't alone. A cultist stared at her from behind a deer mask. She drew her weapon, shouted, ran after him.
One, that's a completely effective horror technique. Like, it's so cool that he's like, you're gonna eventually have a jump scare in this one place. Where is it gonna be? You'll find out. So you're just anticipating it the whole time. I think that that's cool. But I have to wonder, because at first glance, your knee-jerk reaction is like, he's roped Saga into this story. That's horrible. She has a family back home. She has all of this stuff. But I guess you just kind of have to wonder that you only really see them in the town of Bright Falls itself. It's not like in the first Alan Wake game, how you can kind of see Alice and Alan in a different place and traveling to Bright Falls, you know, over the boat and making landfall. Casey and Saga both just kind of show up there and then jump into it. She has hints that there's a family back there, but I don't know. It's just kind of strange. Like, I have to wonder, did they just come into existence? Because there is obviously precedence with Casey being, you know, from Alan's story. So is Saga just from Alan's story also, from the one that he wrote in the Dark Place?
Right.
I don't know. That could be just wild
The cult of
theorizing.
the tree has the clicker Wake told me about. They're a part of all this.
Trailer. I hardly know her.
It's all on the page. The clicker, the cult. Okay, I'll head to Watery and find this trailer. Casey, you stay here and keep an eye on Mr. Wake.
Got it.
No, you need me there.
No dice, pal. This is an FBI investigation, and I don't see a badge on that flannel.
You can switch between Alan and Saga's story. I want to continue on with Saga's story. I will save it, but... I think Alan's story is a little scarier, so I'd prefer to be Saga for now because it's already kind of late at night. And I kind of want to play through this next section, but... So let me think about what just happened there for a second as I'm walking out of this place.
Hi, welcome.
Okay. Past favorite Deerfest floats. Go.
The yarn puppet monstrosity.
The stuffed moose and squirrels one.
No,
Why is this guy looking
Those
at
beady dead marble eyes still give me nightmares.
us? Kind of creepy, no? What are you staring at? Okay, he stopped. Somehow this guy dancing solo here is one of the less weird things. He's got some moves too. Look at him go. I don't know, it's kind of bothering me that somebody kicked over that trash can and just didn't pick it up, but...
Hello, and welcome to Coffee World, voted Washington's best coffee
Oh, these are great.
amusement park. All of our attractions are family friendly and available to children of all ages, just like our coffee. So, take a sip of our Oh Dear Diner organic coffee and let the adventure begin. Hold on for dear life on the Espresso Express. Oh! Soak in some local history at the Watery well, where two serial killers once hid the disemboweled bodies of their murder victims. It's not haunted. No. Come join Mocha Moose and the goats at our amusement park petting zoo. Just don't share your coffee with the goats.
Amusement
Seriously,
park.
stop feeding our goats coffee. Seriously, it's not amusing.
Amusing.
Take in amazing views from the slow roaster Ferris wheel. I can almost see the Watery Lighthouse trailer park. This is so much fun. And finish off at our beautiful gift shop where seniors and children under 10 receive a 9% discount on keychains and propane tanks. Welcome to Coffee World. We guarantee you'll jaw a great time.
This is the third time I've requested something be done about the TV in my room. It keeps going on by itself. It's keeping me awake all night.
Yes, sir, I'm terribly sorry for that. We've called a professional electrician. In the meantime, have you tried unplugging the TV for the night?
Oh, there's an idea, Einstein. Why don't I just get rid of everything I'm paying for in that room while I'm at it?
What a
Sleep on the
dick.
floor. Go to the toilet in the corner. Hey, I'm not unplugging it. You're fixing it.
Of course, sir.
I think that it should be working, but I mean, that is the logical thing. You know, like, are you trying to do anything about it? Have you tried? What have you tried to do? Oh, nothing. Just fix
I
it.
swear I brought my full kit along. Jules, you didn't forget to pack the EMF reader, did you?
Why would I pack your gear? I've got my own to worry about.
Great. Now how am I supposed to measure the energy signatures emitted by paranormal manifestations?
Exactly. Alright, so a group of ghost hunters here. 3 of
I
them.
can't wait to hit the haunts. We should check the town out first. You know, do research, interview some locals, get the feel of the place.
Not before I find my frickin' EMF reader.
That's an important one. Good luck. Let's go to Watery.
Yeah, Anderson, I didn't want to say this in front of Wake, but are you sure this is a good idea? Going on your own?
Assuming we believe the page, I need to check this out. We need to find the cult. Anyone we meet here could be a member. And this Scratch guy.
The evil doppelganger? Must be true, or else this guy can't write for shit.
The quality of his writing aside, if this page turns out to be true like the rest have, this could be a breakthrough. We might solve this thing before backup even arrives.
Yeah, but they're taking their time, so just be careful out there. Meanwhile, I think me and Wake will have a chat. Maybe I can shake something loose.
Okay. But remember what happened with the salt shaker?
Yeah, real funny.
The page placed me in a trailer, somewhere in Watery. I should ask around.
Local girl. I mean, backup hasn't come yet, so it does. I can't. I don't know that it does. Maybe. What are you doing? You looking for rain? Good for you. Keep doing what you're doing. This is the most, like, depressing little town.
Hello. Do you have a second?
Ah, long time and no see, Miss Anderson. Thor and Odin are not here. They are old tricksters always sneaking off.
Sorry. No, I wanted to ask you about something else. Can you point me to any trailers around here?
Sure. Watery Lighthouse Trailer Park. Ilmo Koskela owns it. Owns many things in town.
And where is Ilmo?
I saw Ilmo and his brother at the bridge. Well, what used to be the bridge.
Do you live around here?
I live in Bright Falls. You've seen me around. I am Mr. Blum. You call me Vladimir. I work at a nursing home. I take care of your old people. We are on day trip, music, sauna, the good times.
So
bring them here in the bus.
The elderly are very important. And it's a very nice bus. Thanks.
I don't think I've talked to him before, and he definitely sounded like he knew Saga. Lady has such stiff body language. Can I talk to this person?
Oh, you rascal. What have you been up to this time around? There's only so many times I can keep fixing the same hole.
Watery's definitely quaint.
That's a way to put it.
I bet they have good fish here.
Fresh out of Cauldron Lake. What type of eldritch nonsense are these fish? Alright, well. She's still carrying around the heart on
I need a tool to get this open.
Used. Oh. Saga, why? I can't talk.
Hello.
Hello? Alright. Need to see the best part of this game, pretty much. Where is it?
Hey, where's the time gone? There's just a wretched husk of what used to be me left.
Jeez, that's grim. Okay. There's all kinds of flooding here.
Hey, what did you used to say your dream job was as a kid?
I bet it wasn't dock worker.
I don't know about all that. But idle hands are the devil's playground, so...
Well, us fishing types appreciate you all, at least.
The flooding is even worse here. More like underwatery. I'll have to tell Casey that one later.
That was a good one.
A vote for Mayor Setter is a vote for everyone. For Watery!
Doggone it. I sure love that.
Mayor Seta will stand up for justice.
Stand up for justice. Couldn't we all use that? Yeah, doggone it. I wish I could vote for Mayor Setter these days.
Okay then. Catch you June.
I love this song.
Kaivon pohjalle ruumiskasan. Tästä yöstä ei selviä kukaan. Synkäs huoneessaan kirjoittaen. Onki houreistaan sinut säkeeseen. Hän peilistä sua tuijottaa. Murhan polte se kruunua. Tuon katseen tunnet, et voi unohtaa. Vaik kasvot piiloutuu veriverhon taak. On yötön yö. Se sielun syö.
On yötön yö.
Se sinut syö. Kuin painajainen hän luoksesi saapuu. Hänet verhot tuon varjojen kaapuun. Monta tarinaa hänestä kerrotaan. Häntä pakoon et pääsessä milloinkaan. Hän peilistä sua tuijottaa. Murhan polte se kruunua. Tuon katseen tunnet et voi unohtaa. Vaik kasvot
Excuse me. Do you know where...
He's in the middle of a show.
I wonder if I'm the first FBI agent to ever get shushed.
Tuon katseen tunnet, et voi unohtaa, vaik kasvot piiloutuu veriverhon taa. On yötön yö, se järjen
I really like this song, but I've never known the English translation, and the lyrics are kind of wild.
puukkohippaan tanssi pian vaihtuu.
It's coming in over the radio too. It's Ati and the janitors. Interesting. Alright, I can't talk to Rose. Snag that. What am I supposed to do? Go to the bridge? Well, I'm glad I listened to that. The lyrics to like most of the songs, the lyrics to most of the songs in this game are so spoilery to the point where I'm just shocked that they included the songs in the soundtrack in the first place. There are a couple... I love the Alan Wake 2 soundtrack. I think that it's a phenomenal soundtrack and it works great as an album on its own. But I do also think at the same time that it's such a spoilery soundtrack. Where I'm like, if anybody listens to the lyrics to this...
Hey, Saga! Over here!
Ilmo! I'm actually going to call it there. I think this one is long enough, and I think the next time I'm going to see what Ilmo and Yako have to say. Thanks anybody that checked it out. Really appreciate it. It's so good. It's so good to go through this one with the fresh set of eyes and to have like also the knowledge of what's happened. You get more insight into it, which is very cool. So thanks again. Looking forward to the next one. Also, maybe consider liking, commenting, subscribing. I don't know. It would be nice. If you felt like it, thank you. Bye.